Jalen, the last couple nights, Mark has talked about the group's intentionality. What do you think of when you hear that word in terms of the way that you all played during some critical stretches to get the wins the last 2 nights?
I think the biggest thing is when you're having like ugly games and not getting it offensively, it's easy to drift. And, everybody tries to play one-on-one. I think we do a good job of holding each other accountable and still trying to play the right way and get the best available look and just stick with it. And the one thing that we can control every game is defense, and we kind of buckled down, got some stops, and, jump-started our offense.
Yeah, and then I wanted to ask you about Isaiah Joe. It just seems like in addition to the threes, there are more and more ways in which he's a threat on both ends of the floor. How have you seen him grow in the last few years?
I think defensively, he kind of flies under the radar. He's always in the right spot. He's always competing. There's a number of nights he doesn't compete defensively, and even if the shots aren't going in, it doesn't stop how hard he plays. And I think that's one of the reasons he's here. And he adds so much to our game defensively when you know somebody's going to be in the right spot every time. Rarely makes mistakes, so it's just good to have somebody solid on the team that shoots the way he does and doesn't let that affect, the rest of his game.
Dub, tonight makes 6-0, which is the best start in franchise history. When you hear that, what does that mean to you?
It's cool, for sure. I don't think we're going to get too ahead of ourselves. I think we got to play. Who are we playing next? Orlando? Got to play another good team. Yeah. We'll have fun on this 3-hour flight back, and then it's kind of right back to it. But it's definitely a cool thing to kind of write your name in history and have this be our start. But obviously, we know what we want to do down the line.
Yeah, and I wonder what you saw in terms of the way you guys defended Zubac. I think he had maybe like 10 or 12 on more than 10 shots. How you defend Zubac, and generally how you think these smaller lineups with you at the 5 or whatever guard at the 5 have played out throughout the year?
A lot of it's just trying to help Chet, so you got to give him a lot of credit there. Defensively, it just brings so much versatility, and that was mainly his matchup, so a lot of credit goes there. And then a lot of it's just being ready to help each other, and some you got to give a hard foul or just kind of be scrappy, and we do a good job of that. Playing small, it's something that I've been doing for 3 years now, and something I'm comfortable doing. And just kind of from there, just being ready to kind of help Chet out, and obviously until some of our other bigs get back. And we just kind of find ways to win and defend. And, so really credit to Chet, and then everybody else kind of ready to help.
I asked Coach about AJ, and that was a small sample size, but what have you seen from him as far as transitioning into this pro league? And then what was the hardest adjustment for you, if you can remember?
He's been great. I think he does a good job not letting the minutes affect how he plays. I think that's something that's contagious about the organization, is how hard people play when they do get the opportunity to come in. He's handled it really well, even before training camp when we were playing 5s. I think just having the college experience he has helped him, and that's something that I take with me, obviously, doing the same amount of years. Dylan's another one. When you do that many years of college, I think you just get to learn how to play basketball, and that's helped him and Dylan in the same regard. And then I think just the hardest transition for me was, it didn't have anything to do with basketball. It was more like the flights and just trying to figure out a schedule and a routine and kind of all this stuff outside of basketball and how to be a professional. And it's good now that we have that, and we kind of have some veteran guys that help them through that, and they do a good job of asking questions. And I think that was probably the hardest adjustment, was just like right now I'm probably gonna get back to OKC at 4 a.m. So just trying to navigate that and how to get sleep, how to eat, and do that whole thing.
Anybody else? We'll go to Joel. This can be the last one.
Obviously you and Shea have worked toward raising the volume on 3, especially Shea. I mean, he had 10 attempts, I think, a few nights ago. Mark was just in here noting that, it felt like tonight, and then he was getting picked up higher, you were getting picked up higher. Just what is that like to see kind of the work manifest into the coverage tonight?
It's good. It means that obviously you can't be afraid to shoot the shots you work on, and I think just for me, not even shooting it well tonight or a couple games ago too, it's just kind of one of those things that you stick with, and it's a process of getting better. So especially early in the year, you want to make shots and you want to, be as efficient as possible. And there's also kind of a gray area where, you're trying to work on your game as well. And so I think the more we shoot them, the higher people will have to respect it. And that's one of those things you just can't be afraid to shoot what you work on. So I give him a lot of credit for that because it makes me shoot shots that I don't normally shoot. To try and work on later down the stretch. And so it's good when people obviously pick us up higher. It means we're doing something right.
Great.
Yep.
Yeah. Good night.